Superbook. You're watching Fox 5's Sports Plus, brought to you by the Westgate Superbook.
Welcome back to Fox 5 Sports Plus. Vince Sapienza alongside the G-Man, Ron Gerrard, author, broadcaster, all-around great guy. Ron, thanks for being here.
Well, I appreciate it, Vince. Thanks for having me.
And, of course, we're here, A Game of Moments. It's a book you authored, and it's not a book that many will pick off the shelves and go front to back. It's a collection of your interviews, your pictures, right, your conversations with some of baseball's best.
That's true. It's like signature moments, you know, that happened in baseball, and we're going back. Some of the interviews were done 30 years ago, and the people that I spoke with were old then. Unfortunately, a lot of them aren't here anymore, but we have, like, for example, Bobby Thompson, 1951, the shot heard around the world. Bill Mazeroski, walk-off homer in 1960 against the Yankees to win the World Series for Pittsburgh. Back-to-back no-hitters by Johnny Vandermeer. A lot of people don't even realize somebody pitched back-to-back no-hitters.
As I'm going through the book, it almost felt like a time machine of sorts. Obviously, I was not alive for a lot of the interviews, but reading some of them, you felt like you were back in that era, back in that time. And one that kind of spoke to me a little bit is one that I was alive with. Many people won't believe it, but was with Tony Gwynn, where he talked about the hot streak he was in and how he was doing so well with the batting titles, and he compared it to a wave. He's like, I don't surf, but I feel like that's the best way to describe it. And it was just interesting to see and read the candor and the optimism and yet the realism from these players.
No, that's true. Gwynn also in that interview mentioned about, I think he won at that time maybe 5 or 6 titles, and I said, what does it mean to win a batting title? And he said, not very much, frankly, you know. And then I spoke with Rod Carew, and he said it meant everything to him. It meant a great deal. So everybody approaches things differently, you know, psychologically.
And obviously you live here in Henderson. You cover everything there is to cover in the sports world. Obviously, baseball is a passion of yours. These interviews and the questions you're asking, again, it feels like a time machine, the snapshots. I mean, what is it like for you when you were putting this book together? What was the inspiration? What made you say, hey, I got to put this book together in these interviews?
It was just like a snowball thing, and I get passionate about it, so I thought, I'll talk to this guy and this one, you know. If anybody played ball for even 1 year, I'd speak with them, you know. So, and I think you'll find some interesting stories in here.
Just perusing through this, there's so many nuggets, so many things you would have never known. If you're a baseball junkie, if you're new to the game, if you just want to know what it was like back in a certain era, this is the book to get. Ron, where do they get it?
Well, you can get the book on Amazon. You can order it through Amazon or Barnes & Noble or Walmart. Any of those will take orders for it. It's also in a Kindle. You can get it if you want to read electronically, you know. But this is old school stuff, so I think you have to go with the hard copy. You know what I mean.
And, Ron, again, I know this is the first, hopefully not the last book.
No, I'm going to work. I think I'm going to do 12 of them.
12?
Just so I can come back here and be with you. We'll talk about the second, and the third we'll keep rolling with it. But maybe a boxing book, I don't know, but I have enough for another baseball. There's 85 players in this book, and at least half of them are in the Hall of Fame. So it's pretty interesting. Get some insight into it. So
well, hopefully for those next books, I'm on like I was this one.
You're riding the wave that Tony Gwynn had. You're on the same
Tony
one.
Gwynn, all right. Ron Gerrard, the G-Man, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Fox 5 Sports Plus returns in just a moment, and when we do, it's the invincible play of the day. Keep it here.